Hi, welcome to Made in the Low Country. My name is Stephanie and today I'm going to be making these quick and easy microwavable bowl cozies. You can put your soup in your bowl, place it in the microwave and heat it for 2-minute increments at a time, and then when your soup is done you can grab the points to remove your bowl from the microwave without burning your fingers. These make great stocking stuffers. So everyone's going to be getting some bowl cozies along with the dishcloths we made in a previous video and some homemade soap we also made in a previous video, which I'll link below. When I'm gifting the cozies, I made this little wrap on my computer. I can link this below also. I'll just put it in my Dropbox and link it. You can print it. I just cut it out of strips of craft colored paper and just tape it to the back so it looks nice in the gift basket. But these go together very quickly. They're very easy, and if you use 100% cotton fabric, batting, and thread, they are microwavable. So let's get started. For this project, you're going to need 2 coordinating fabrics, and from those fabrics, cut a 10-inch by 10-inch square from each one. You'll also need, and this needs to be 100% quilter's cotton. You don't want to have any fabric that has any metallic paint or metallic threads in it. It needs to be 100% quilter's cotton if you want to be able to put it in the microwave. You'll also need some 100% cotton batting. Now, I'm going to be using this one today. I just ordered it from Amazon. I've never tried this particular one before, but it's batting without the scrim, which can have polyester or different fibers in it. I have also used this batting before and it worked very, very well. And you'll also need some 100% cotton thread. I'm just going to be using King Tut today, which is 100% cotton, 40 weight cotton. And then you'll cut 2 10-inch by 10-inch pieces of batting. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'll show you what comes next. Next, you'll lay your fabric with the right sides down, wrong sides up, and you'll lay a piece of your 10 by 10 batting on your 10 by 10 square. And then you'll draw an X from corner to corner each way. I like to use Tailor's chalk. I find that it's just easy. It's got a nice sharp point and it shows up very well on the batting. I just go ahead and draw it right on my batting. You can see it very, very well. And then you'll take it to your sewing machine and sew a line exactly on the X on both pieces. I'm using a foot with a guide, and so my needle is right behind that guide, right in the center. I'll just lift my presser foot, slide my fabric under, and just let the guide follow the line I drew. My X's have been sewn on both pieces of fabric, and now you're going to want to fold your fabric right sides together because we're going to mark on the batting again. So we're going to fold both pieces. And I bought this little ruler just for doing this project. It was very inexpensive at my local quilt shop, and it's 5 inches by 1 inch. So for this project, you want to measure up from the fold 1 inch and over from the raw edge on the fold 2 inches, and you'll just put a little mark on both and then you'll connect them. And you're going to do this on both of these sides, but then we're also going to go ahead and fold it and do it on the other side. Now if you want to go sew these darts in first, because we're going to sew right on these lines and create darts. The first one I did these 2 first, and then I went back and did the other 2, but honestly it's just as easy to go ahead and turn it and fold it again. And that way when I sit at my sewing machine, I don't have to get back up. So we're going up from the fold 1 inch and in 2 inches. And then we're going to just connect. up 1 and 2, connect. So now this one's done, and we'll just stitch on this line. And then when you fold the other way, see our lines are still, gotta turn it over, our lines are still there. Do the same thing, repeat it with this piece. All right, let's go to the sewing machine and get these darts sewn in, and then we're going to trim them. Still sewing with this guide right on the line I just drew. Fold it the other way. So you got to flip it over to see our lines. So if you want to drop a pin in here to help you hold it, or a clip, that's absolutely fine. But all we're going to do is sew from the fold to the raw edge again. So now we're going to trim the darts. So I like to trim my darts pretty close. I usually trim them at about 1/8 of an inch. You'll want to trim all 4. So here is where I use clips. So we're gonna go ahead and line up your seams, and I'll push one seam to the left and the bottom seam to the right, and I'll just drop a clip, and I'll do that all the way around. Lining up my seams and pushing one to the left and one to the right, and just putting a clip there. Alright, so it's important when you start sewing, you leave a space to turn your project. So I go ahead, I always start near a seam. So the first thing I do is I drop a pin right in a corner, and that's where I'm gonna start right here. And this just reminds me, when I turn this corner and get to this point, to back stitch, and I know that I need to stop sewing to leave myself space to turn it. So I'm going to start sewing right here by this clip. Oh, and we need to change to a 1/4 inch foot, or you just need a 1/4 inch seam. Put my foot down and start sewing using a 1/4 inch seam. Now, because this has little angles, you'll need to slightly turn when you reach a seam. And then stop sewing 1/4 inch from the end of your project. If you have a 1/4 inch foot, these markings on the front of the foot tell you that you're a 1/4 inch from the needle. So now you can turn to maintain that 1/4 inch seam all the way around. I'm not going to sew over that needle, I'm just going to sew to it. And then I'm going to back stitch a few stitches. Let me show you. So we want to just take these corners off without cutting into that seam line. Just going to snip them off. To turn it, I just like to reach my fingers to the inside, and I grab the opposite corner and just pull it through. We're almost done. I hope you'll give this a try. They make really nice gifts, and they're really nice to have in your house too. My husband and I love soup. We actually eat it year round. We don't wait till winter. We eat a lot of soup. Alright, so I'm going to go in between the two pieces of batting, and I'm going to push these corners out. Alright, so now I'm going to go to my ironing board, and you can see how this naturally wants to fold in because we did that 1/4 inch seam. I'm going to go ahead and give it a quick press and press the whole thing before we top stitch it, and then we'll be done. Alright, so I've pressed all the way around, and I have my part pressed where my opening is. So now we're just going to top stitch, and the top stitching does two things. It closes the turning hole, but it also keeps your fabrics from shifting, keeps your inside to the inside and your outside to the outside. So top stitching is very important on this project. So I'm just going to do 1/8 of an inch of a seam for my top stitching, which is, this is a 1/4 inch foot. So if I just let the fabric glide along the inside of the foot right here, then that's 1/8 of an inch. And I always like to start where my opening is. So I'm just going to glide the fabric right along the inside edge of my presser foot. Alright, so I've gone all the way around and I'm back at the beginning. So I stitch over my beginning stitches a couple of times and cut my thread. They're very cute, very useful, and make great gifts. So I'll just fold it in half like this. Take my little label, wrap it just like this, and stick a little piece of tape on the back and add it to my gift basket. I hope you make these. If you have any questions, please drop them below. Thanks for watching and have a great day.